Once upon a time, King Volsung gave his daughter, named Signy, in marriage to Sigurd, king of Gothland.
Their marriage was interrupted when a strange old man entered the hall and placed a sword into the tree of the center of the dining hall. After he left, it was realized that he was Odin, the All-Father.
Many men tried to remove the sword and failed.
Finally, Sigmund put his hand upon the hilt and withdrew the sword as easily as if it lay loosely in the wood. Sigmund then, in time, became the king of Hunland.
The sword gave Sigmund great strength and was able to defeat many armies. But after many years of his ruling, Odin came to fight Sigmund during a great battle. Odin shattered Sigmund's sword with one hit and would eventually defeat and kill Sigmund.
Before Sigmund died, he told his wife to keep the shards of his shattered sword to one day recast it and name it Gram. It would be the weapon for his son, Sigurd.
A young king of Denmark landed and claimed Sigmund's wife and treasure for himself and took them back to Denmark, where Sigurd was born.
One day, Sigurd was told by Regin, his tutor, that he should get a horse because all great warriors have a great horse. When Sigurd got to the stable to choose a horse, an old man approached him and told him that he should drive all the horses into a river to see which one is the strongest. The only horse that was strong enough to get across the river was a beautiful gray horse. Sigurd claimed it to be his horse, and after all that, the old man vanished, and in that moment, Sigurd realized it was Odin, the All-Father.
After Sigurd got his horse, he needed a sword. Since his tutor Regin was also a metalsmith, Regin agreed to make a sword for him. His first two swords he made, Sigurd shattered into pieces when Sigurd struck an anvil. Regin then took the shattered pieces of the sword that belonged to Sigurd's father and crafted a much stronger sword. The anvil was easily cut in half when struck by this new sword, and they named it Gram.
Sigurd, advised by Regin, sets out to defeat the dragon Fafnir, and does so by digging a hole to kill the dragon. A mysterious old man warns him of Regin's betrayal and instructs him to build runoff trenches for all the dragon's blood. Then the old man vanished, and Sigurd realized it was Odin, the All-Father. Sigurd follows the advice, kills the dragon, and the blood drains safely, preventing him from drowning.
After killing Regin because of his betrayal, Sigurd set out to find the maiden Brunhild. Sigurd had to ride through a ring of fire that protected Brunhild's castle, but Sigurd was able to do so with ease because of his courage.
When he got in the castle, he found Brunhild sleeping in her bed wearing a full suit of gold armor. When Sigurd removed her helmet and saw her, he immediately fell in love with her. Sigurd and Brunhild pledged to love each other, and Sigurd went on his way.
After traveling for many days, Sigurd came upon the kingdom of King Giuki, where he ended up staying for 5 years. King Giuki's wife, Grimhild, really wanted Sigurd to marry her daughter, so she gave Sigurd a drugged drink that caused him to forget about Brunhild entirely, and Sigurd married her daughter, Gudrun.
Now that Gudrun was married to Sigurd, Gudrun wanted her brother Gunnar to get married. Gunnar knew of Brunhild's beauty and wanted her to be his wife, but he didn't have the courage to make it through the ring of fire around the castle, so Sigurd assumed Gunnar's shape and rode through the flames and met Brunhild.
Since Sigurd had no memory of Brunhild, he convinced Brunhild to marry Gunnar because Sigurd had assumed Gunnar's shape. Brunhild came back to the kingdom of King Giuki and married Gunnar.
It is later revealed to Brunhild that it was actually Sigurd who dressed as Gunnar and won her over, and when she found out, she was so mad she planned her revenge. Brunhild and Gunnar drugged Gunnar's younger brother so that he would do whatever they say, and told him to kill Sigurd when they all went on a bear hunting trip.
Gunnar told Gunnar's younger brother to keep an eye on and protect Sigurd, and told him about a special weak point on his back to protect, not knowing that he was secretly planning to kill him. When Sigurd was alone by a stream drinking some water, Gunnar's younger brother sneaked up behind him and stabbed Sigurd in his weak point and killed him.
Brunhild's last wish before she killed herself was to be buried next to Sigurd with his sword in between them, and the mourning family honored that wish.
Call to Adventure. The call to adventure part of the story is when Sigurd sets out to defeat the dragon Fafnir and claim the riches it guarded.
Threshold. Sigurd had a mentor, Regin, that tutors him and makes him a sword named Gram.
Initiation. Sigurd ventures into the unknown to try and find and kill the dragon, Fafnir.
The Abyss. Sigurd faces his greatest challenge when he has to kill Fafnir, and also realizes that Regin had betrayed him.
Transformation and revelation. Once Sigurd kills the dragon, he gains great courage and the riches the dragon guarded as he leaves his old life behind. This myth shows that Norse culture really values being a brave warrior and above all having great courage to do what you believe is your destiny.